Now, I want to say thank you for coming to my channel and watching my videos. Now, most of my videos, they are reaction videos from me just seeing anything from music videos, just content that other creators have put up, and so on and so forth. And in the past, most of my content has been from just my travel vlogs, but in this video, we're going to do something a little bit off the grid. And we're going to be talking about the NASM Certified Personal Training Exam. Now, if you are new to the channel, I appreciate if you would hit the subscribe button. And if you had just came to my channel and came across some reactions and you like the content I've been posting, please click the subscribe button. It would help me and I would graciously appreciate it. And also turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload new videos. So we're going to do the NASM Certified Personal Training Exam, and I'm pretty much just going to give you guys a little rundown about my experience with it, how I studied, and how I prepared to pass it. So, a little background is I used to play football in high school, did a little bit of football in college, did junior college, and then I just kind of stopped for personal health reasons. I value that my body's health is more important than trying to just keep on breaking myself down. And yes, we all have dreams and we all have aspirations, but sometimes it's good to come into reality with some of those dreams and aspirations and just listen to your body. Your body's the most important thing because you don't want to deteriorate your body. I've always preached this for a long time and I still live by it, and I've spoken to existence for myself, and it will prolong my life going further down the line. Is that your brain can get you further than your body. And what I mean by that is that your brain contains a whole bunch of knowledge. Your body is what helps you and could possibly lead you to earning a lifestyle that you would like potentially. Now, when I first started this, I really had no initial aspirations or a desire to get a certification for personal training. I've had friends ask me to train them. I've asked family friends ask me to train them. I've had even just adults in the gyms ask me certain things and certain movements I do, because most of my stuff I do it from my past in football, and I just translate it to just my normal everyday working out routine that I do. So let me go ahead and put this up. Now, let me tell you this. It is helpful to go through the YouTube videos. I will say they do play a factor, but they're not 100% going to help you pass the exam. I'm just going to be straight up. Now, since we're going through COVID and everything, it's a little tricky. You get the option to take it in person and online through Proctor-U. Now, I started this in, I want to say, January, and I just kind of looked at it here and there. Didn't really pay too much attention didn't take too much of the material into account. So I was just like, all right, yeah, this should be roughly easy. Shouldn't be too hard. And then, because I was actually doing this with my friend, he's the one who taught me into doing this and got me, kind of like, all right, I'll give it a try to see how everything goes. So me and him, we just kind of study here and there. But majority of the time we would study on our own time, but we would give hints and tips to one another as well. And we said we were going to take this exam at the exact same date, same location and everything. Excuse me. So he had an incident pop up, but with his whole entire scheduling the test through the whole entire whoever the people are, I can't think of it right now. But I was able to get mine through to get scheduled to take my exam. Now, when I took my exam, I failed the first time. And when I looked it up, the average score that most people get are a 66 out of 100. Now, the whole entire exam is 120 questions, but 20 of them don't count towards the exam. So they can't help you, nor will they hurt you. So you don't know which ones will be accounted for on the exam. So the one thing you want to do is to try to get everything right. That's just the way I value it and take it in is that you want to try to get every single question right, because if you say you think you just need to know certain aspects of it and you end up missing one or two, you will be pretty upset over those one and two that you missed when you really could have just taken it all in. However, and I did that in an actual location setting, and they were very thorough and everything with the whole entire COVID. So very, very, very thorough with their safety. The second time I did it through Proctor-U online here in my home office, and I passed. I don't know what number I got out of 100. I wish I knew, but I ended up passing. But aside from that, we're just going to go straight into what you mainly need to know. I can't give you exactly everything, but I'm just going to lead you and point you in the direction. So I'm going to let you guys see everything or give you an idea of what all you need to know. So you heard everybody say that the domains are the most important thing to pretty much get everything broken down. So when you go into your back page on NASM, you want to click the NASM CPT study guide. Now, I will tell you this. I found this out my second time studying to take the exam. When you start off, this part right here, step 1, know your baseline. This is going to be 100 questions. Now, these 100 questions are going to be very beneficial because they could show up on the exam. I can say I saw at least 5 to 10 questions that came out of this one section on my exam. And then each domain is going to have a percentage. So 17% of your exam will come from domain 1. And this is how you get the percentage once you're done taking the exam. It's going to show you got 80% of this section and you got 90% of this section. And those sections they're talking about are the domains, sorry, in the quizzes. So domain 1, study it. Domain 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, study all the domains. They're very important. Try to get very, very familiar with domain 3 and 4. These are highly important. They play a huge factor. Another thing that I did for each of these, I took the quizzes multiple times. I kid you not. I'll even show you, for example, for a domain 1 quiz, you can see right here, I took it 12 times. And my thing was, after I failed it my first time, I wanted to try to get as familiar as I could so I would not have to take it for a third time. That is one thing I'm telling you, you don't want to take it for a third time. So I would try to at least get at 18 out of 20, 2 to 3 times in a row consistently. That way, so I was just familiar with the material and it was just easier. No, here we go. And then even here, domain 2, same thing. I'm just going to pull up in a new tab so it's easier. Right here, 18 out of 20. So you want to learn and get very familiar with those. They play a very big role, to be honest with you. And then after you're done learning the domains, another very important thing. Like I said, the 100 question 1 in step 1. It's also very, very important. The know your knowledge. I'll even show you how many times I took the know your knowledge one, because I'm telling you it's going to show up. You see right here, 68 out of 100. But when you take it again, a 90 out of 100, 100 out of 100, you want to get very familiar. So study that. And then when you get done with all the domains and the know your knowledge or check your knowledge, you're going to go to the practice exam. Now, these questions are going to change every time you take the practice exam. So get very comfortable. This is the one that's 120. So you can see here, when I was preparing, I was very comfortable here because I thought I knew the information. What I saw on the practice exam, I thought would be on my actual exam. However, that is not correct. But you will still get questions out of these. So those are very important key aspects. I would also say you would want to get familiar with uh, cardiorespiratory system. You want to get to know that. Chapter 6, 7, and 8 are just as important. What's another one that you 14 and 15 OPT model. Okay, let's go ahead and let's dive into that real quick. One thing that I also suggest doing, don't just click chapter reviews. The chapter reviews, they just pretty much break things down, but they don't give you a full-on aspect of everything that you need to know. You can get little things that are in the chapter review, but when you take your exam, there's going to be stuff that you might have not came across that's going to be in the actual chapter. And I learned that the hard way. You want to go into the actual chapter, and you don't have to read it, just skim it and just kind of keep little key things inside your head. Let me see. I'm going to try to pull up the OPT model. Okay. So in the OPT model, this is how I remembered it personally. Excuse me. So OPT model, you have 5 phases. So how I did is I would use my hand and I would hold it just like this. So this is my bottom and this is my top and this is the middle. So I remember at the bottom is stability. You have to be stable before you can do any single thing with anybody. So this is a key aspect. And one of the key terms is proprioception. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly, but that also relates to stabilization, because when you see that one word, it's just relating to balance. That's very important. You have to be stable to do anything. After that is strength endurance. So you want to just build up a little bit more of the reps in order for your muscles to get used to it. Then after strength endurance comes hypertrophy. It's when you're building up the muscles. It's when you want to get really huge. After that, maximal strength. So example, doing bench press. You want to do a one rep max, as much weight as you can, complete it. A squat. Squat as heavy as you can and complete the rep. So that's maximal strength. And then power. Power is doing everything with maximum force at the minimal. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to remember everything. I just got done taking this 3 weeks ago, but max force basically with minimal time, pretty much. You want to do it as quick as you can. So example could be like power clean or hand clean. That's power basically. So try to use your hand to remember it. That's how I did it. Stability, endurance, hypertrophy, max strength, power. And then you also want to try to remember the reps, sets, and what's another one? Reps and sets are the main ones. And then I would say the tempo, but the tempo is not going to be too much. Just remember mainly the reps and sets. Those are going to be huge. That's another thing that I can help you guys out. Oh, so a lot of people talk about the overhead squat. Didn't see too much of the overhead squat, but it is a very good thing to know. The way how I learned the overhead squat is I saw a video from this woman named Ruth, and she provided the Google Doc and everything. I'm gonna try to copy and paste her document into my my description, so you guys could go into the document. It helped me, and it makes things a whole lot easier. She put little mnemonic devices, but you can go in and put your own little twists. That's what I did. I only changed about like probably 3 or 4 things, and I just remember them in my head. And along with the poker muscle game, that also helps. Uh, you do that about like 3 to 4 times until you have like an idea of where what muscles are located. Then you'll be comfortable whenever you're reading through and thinking through the exam. Okay, this muscle is located here, and that muscle is located there. Uh, know what frontal view is, know the interior view, posterior view, transverse, sagittal, know those things. Know inferior, superior. Let me see what else. I honestly want to say those are the majority of the things that you want to do, but when you go through the domains, please take your time and try to find a way for yourself to understand the domain and even the definitions. Like I was referring to in chapter 3 with the heart, you want to actually know the definitions for veins, capillaries, uh, venules, all that stuff. Uh, you want to know the atriums and the ventricles. That's another thing. When it's the right atrium, don't think your right hand, the right atrium is on your right hand. It's actually on your left hand. So when it's right atrium, just view it opposite side, and left atrium, view it the opposite side, and know which side is deoxygenated and know which side is oxygenated, which side is pumping blood to the body, and which side is deoxygenated from the lungs into the lungs and all that other stuff. Aside from that, guys, the 100-question knowledge check exam, all 6 domains. Take your time reading through them. The 120-question practice exam, and then looking into the chapters, like I said, chapters 3, 4 to 8, 14, 15. Just get little stuff asking about like the code of conduct, lifestyle, things like that. Don't get yourself too mixed up on the lifestyle, like pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance. Don't get too confused, but try to find a way to remember it, because there's about, I want to say, a good 3 to 4 questions about them. Know the heart rate reserve. Know that. You might get a formula. I'm not 100%, but just if you study some and you look through some of the through the guide and you see a formula, just might see it, you might not. Don't hold me to it, but mainly those, and then overhead squat. And there'll be some stuff asking about single leg squat. Just try to relate it to the overhead squat. For stabilization, know that for the legs, it's 2 stable, 1 leg unstable, 2 legs unstable, 1 leg unstable. For the arms, it's 2 legs. Not 2 legs. It's 2 arms, alternating arms, 1 arm. And then for balance, just go and try to find that. It's talking about going from the floor to the beam, from the beam to the foam pad, so on and so forth. That's everything that I can think of right now that I can hopefully provide to you guys. And all I have to say is, If you fail the first time, it's okay. I failed it by 4 points. Was I upset? Absolutely, because I wanted to pass it the first time. Just had to dig down a little deeper, study a little harder, and pass the second time. And it was a huge accomplishment. So, I mean, I even have my thing right here. Shows it. So, I passed mine. Just got to study, log down. To me, the best way I can describe it to people is like you're going back to anatomy class. You just got to remember what all you can. And on the test, they like to be tricky and switch up certain words and make you really overthink a lot of things. I will say, if there's a question that you're not so sure about, just mark it to come back later and move on. You have about an hour and a half to 2 hours. You have a bunch of time. And when you go back to look at those questions that you went over and skipped, just do a process of elimination. So that's all I have for you guys. Subscribe and drop comments. And if you have any questions, I'll answer them.